Oh, lobster! Lobster!
Finally got the double figure huss I was after.
Just a little strap. Get it back. Right, Matilda and I are out fishing today. We've had a few decent huss recently, so we're just going to try and see if we can record a session today, show you what baits we're using, and see if we can pull out some fish. First rig, I'm just sending out a pulley with a floating bead, some squid tentacles, and just going to send that out, see what we can pick up while I get the big rods ready. And we'll keep you updated what baits we put out, what rigs, and we'll see what fish we can pull out. Right, first bait, still putting small ones out at the moment, just to see what we can pick up. Just anything really. The tide is going to be coming in 2 hours, and then that's when we start putting some bigger baits out. So I just cut a piece of bluey, piece of squid the same size. Just going to elasticate them onto each other. This squid's quite tough actually, because it's a big one.
Yeah, I noticed when I put it on mine, it's really tough.
And then I like to leave a long thin end just to get the circle hook in, and then it doesn't get buried inside the bait. Right, Matilda wants to put a big bait out, so I'm just going to bait it up for her and just show you how we do it. So herring and squid she wants to put on. So she's using a size 8/0 Sakuma Manta. So just going to get a rough size of the bait. It's still a bit frozen. Cut that in half. Obviously you don't want to be using a bait this long with one hook there, because if the fish is on this side of the bait you're just going to be getting bites, but you're never going to hook it. So if you were going to use a pennel, yeah, that's a good size, but she's just got the single hook on this one, so if the fish starts with that bait there's a much better chance it's going to hook itself. Some giant squid. So keep all this inside, so when the tide comes up, and hopefully the bigger fish will come in. So about that big. Oh. Baiting tool, don't have to use them. I rarely use them, but these are new, so just going to test them out. Going to keep that side open, put the bait on that side, and then I'm going to put my hook in that side, just so it probably, well, I think it's going to hold the hook the best in place. So I'm going to want the hook there. So just to get the line flowing through the bait, just go to the start. Move her beads that she wants to use. And then just finish it off. So one chunk of bait, hook's nice and proud, and then little pointy bit. And then hopefully this is the bigger side. The fish should pick the smaller side, and then that's going to be the easiest way for it to swallow it. And then hopefully that should hook a fish. If you want can add a bit of tentacle on.
Nice.
Bait number 3 for me, still scratching around. Just a pennel hook fishing on the bottom. Piece of herring, piece of squid, and a piece of bluey. Still waiting for the tide to come in. Well, to get the low tide to turn. That's about another hour away. And then we start putting some bigger baits out. Alright guys, just gonna bring you in to land the first fish of today, which is a dogfish. So first fish, dogfish, and that was taken on the squid and bluey, and as you can see, that's come in on the pennel hook. So I always put a circle hook on the pennel, and when you're catching bull huss, that's always, well, not always, but I'd say that's a high percentage of the hook that actually gets them. So I have the usual hook. That's what's going to get the congers, because I've lost so many congers on the circle hook. So I got the best of both. If I'm just targeting congers, I'll just use 2 fixed hooks. But any type of bull huss or dogfish fishing have a normal hook and a circle on the back, and that's the one that's got him. So that dogfish just came in on the bluey and squid, so next bait, just going to get another medium, smallish size one out with mackerel and squid this time. See if there's anything a little bit different. Strip of squid. Hook in at the end just to keep the line running through the bait. Just keep it in a straight line. So one hook nice and proud, and then like you just saw, that dogfish come in on the pennel hook, which is a circle hook. So I'd recommend any type of hussing or dogfish, always put a circle hook on your pennel, and then if you're congering, I would use 2 fixed hooks. It's just 2 long shanks. So I've got a chance congers can still hook themselves, and bull huss, they're usually going to be caught on this one. Say 8 out of 10 are going to come in on the circle, and then you got the best of both there if you don't know what you're going to catch. So I'll get this out and we'll see if we can pull out another fish.
I'm gonna use some squid now on a pulley hook rig with a muppet on. I like using muppet. I caught huss on the muppets here before. One, oops, go, and probably pick up a huss. Looks like that. Gonna put some elastic on and make it a bit more tight and get it out.
Just the one dogfish so far on bluey and squid, so just made up another bluey and squid on an up and over rig. See if we can get out another fish. I know this video is not loaded up with loads of, I don't know, the scenery and all this other stuff that they put in between it, but it's just, this is just a little video put together just to show what baits we're using and see if we can pull out a couple of fish. And obviously in the future we'll try and make them a little bit more interesting.
Philip had some bites on his rod, so he's gonna see what that is. Feel like anything on?
Something on us, yeah. This was on mackerel and bluey running ledger, and it is
Huss or a dogfish.
Can you see?
Yeah, it's
Dogfish
small.
again, is it?
Yeah, probably a small dogfish.
Yeah. Hold this in. Fish number 2, taken on a running ledger, and then bluey and mackerel on that one. Small little one. Get it back. Just landed the second dogfish on the small baits. It's just gone low tide, so this is the first big bait going out. 200 pound mono on a running ledger with a whole joey minus one fillet that we've used. And yeah, that's going to go out, and hopefully that'll catch the first huss. Just put that joey mackerel out. It must have landed on the fish's nose. Just straight away you're getting decent good bites. Yeah. Yeah, something on you. Doesn't feel big. Oh, actually, there's a bit of weight there now. Did you see it?
Yeah, dogfish or huss, can't really see.
Hold this in. Just lost that dogfish, I think it was. You can see it's taken on the pennel hook. That's why it's always good to have a circle hook, but it was only small, so just going to add some more bait to this and then get it back out. So that rig, that's all the mackerel that's left. Big piece of herring. Gonna add that on. Get that pennel hook. And then that's the bait.
I'm gonna get this one out now. It's bluey and some herring on a panel ring with the pulley panel with a circle hook there. So hopefully now I'm using some bigger hooks, maybe try and get the dogfish away. I haven't got a dogfish yet, but I don't want to either, so that's what I'm trying to use, big hooks now. See how it goes.
Just gonna bait up the next rig ready, so it's gonna be a pennel, 200 pound line. At the moment, that's a herring head, and then just gonna beef up this gap with half a squid head. Otherwise, that hollow gap there, you know, you're just gonna miss a fish, no doubt, because there's no bait there. Oh. And then that's the rig. Put a circle hook on the back this time. Just lost that last dogfish, I think it was, but it was taken on the back hook, and if it would have been a circle, it would have probably been a fish. So I've got a big 10 Sakuma at the front, and then I think it's about a 6 circle hook on the back. See if you can get a fish. Next rig for me, bluey head on a pennel, 8 manta, and then 4 demon circle hook mustard. Lost that fish again, typical. It's quite hard to land him, and I have to climb down the rocks while Matilda holds the rod at the top, and obviously when it's getting bashed about in the waves, you know, it gives him a good chance to get off. Again, that was a Bull Huss, I think, but if it would have had a circle hook, I think we probably could have hooked it, but they do tend to spit these out sometimes. Oh well, we'll see if we can get another one. Half a mackerel, joey mackerel. I've put the circle back on the back, and a 6 Sakuma manta. We'll just see if we can just get out another fish rather than losing them. And then as we get to the top of the tide, we'll just put really big baits out and then try and get a conger or a decent huss. I'm going to try and walk it over there.
Okay.
Oh, it's heavy. Hey, that's a huss.
Don't see it. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's a huss.
Absolutely taking that bait down. Both hooks. Let's get us unhooked. When I said I was going to downsize that rig and put the circle hook on, so that's where this huss has come in on. First little Bull Huss of the evening, taking on a half a joey mackerel with a 6 manta and a circle hook, and he'd smashed the bait. The bait was taken down and then he was hooked with a circle. So just changing from those 2 mustard 8 long shanks to the circle hook, and they haven't been able to get off. Getting a couple of knocks on this rod. Yeah, there's something on this. Yes! If I remember, this is the herring head with the squid. Bit of weight to this. What is it?
Can't really see.
Huh?
Can't really see. Very dark.
Dogfish, maybe small Bull Huss. Oh, lobster! Lobster!
Oh my God.
Well, what a nice surprise. A lobster. Now is taken on the bluey head and on the circle hook. Nice female lobster, full of eggs, so this will be going back. If this was a male, it would have been my first lobster, and I'd have loved to have tried one, but I guess there's always next time. Nice.
Cool. couldn't really tell what it was until we saw it was a lobster when it was closer in, and it's a nice female with her eggs there. Lovely thing. She's going back, of course.
Bluey head on a pennel rig. And a nice lobster. Nice female. I'm just going to get her released back.
Hi, lobster.
What bait using it?
So cuttlefish and herring.
Cuttlefish and herring. My next bait is also cuttlefish and herring. On an 8-0 Manta Sakuma and a Demon circle hook at the back. Just had the lobster, that was the last catch. I think I'll catch so far 2 dogfish, 1 bull huss, 2 lost dogfish and the lobster. Bites again, let's have a look. That bait, obviously it was getting bites, but the little fish have obviously just been picking away, or crabs. But you can see that was a whole head of a herring which has been eaten completely, and then that's the squid was left. But we get it rebaited up and get it back out. Right, this bait, I want to use some of the head, so I've got 1/4 of a joey mackerel. Now I want to mix it with some of that, so I'm looking to cut off that shape off the top of the head of the herring. So let's say there. It's not the sharpest knife, as you can tell. Right, so that's that shape. And that's going to be the bait. Matilda's hooked into a fish. I'm going to try and help her land it. Let's see what we got. A nice huss, not the biggest. Nice huss, and it's taken on not the main hook but the pennel hook, which is the circle hook. So it just goes to show you how important it is when you're targeting huss or dogfish. Just put your pennel hook as a circle hook. There is a chance of congers or bull huss, so it's always good to have the long shank to get the congers, but as a backup, 8 times out of 10 you're going to get that nice huss on the circle. She'll come down and hold a fish. Yeah. 9-4.
Finally, it's been quiet for me for a few hours, but I finally got a huss on cuttlefish and herring. 9 pound 40 ounces something. I'm gonna release him back now. Just caught the bull huss on this rig, so now I just added on some herring to it, so it's cuttlefish and herring, and I made it a little bit bigger, see if I can attract that double huss that I want to get. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go down. Matilda's into another fish. I'll just try and land it. Greedy little dogfish. Size of the bait. Nice little dogfish. Matilda's second fish. Just throw it back. Matilda and I have switched positions. She's catching all the fish now. Or she's getting bites at least.
Yeah.
My rods are quiet. Is it a nice one?
Possibly.
Looks nice. Matilda's into another fish. Let's try and land it again. Nice lovely huss.
Right.
Matilda might be into her first double. Nine, 5.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, eat a little more. Yes! My first double. Woohoo! Nice. Let's get some pictures before the sun goes. Finally got the double figure huss I was after. 10 pound, 5 ounces something.
10.5 pound, yeah.
Yeah. Finally been stuck on the 9 mark for a long time now. Got the, can't remember what I think it was, herring and cuttlefish. But yeah, it's gonna release it now.
Matilda's huss, 10.5. Let's get it released back. Get a little fire going. Hopefully I can get a fish. Matilda's taking all the fish at the moment. But I guess we get to fish half the session each in each other's spots.
Gonna put this out now. It's almost a whole cuttlefish and see if I can get something big. Getting some bites on my rods, bluey and herring on it. It's not a really big bait on, but something is definitely on it. I tried using the colored pop-up beads for the first time for the congers and seems like it works.
A full cuttlefish, or just under a full cuttlefish, and probably about £1, £2.
Yeah.
Just a little strap. Get it back. Bites are starting to come in a little bit more frequent now. Fish are probably coming on the feed. We've been here for like 9 hours. Pulled a few fish out. But I think we can get a couple more before we leave. That was a nice bite. Lost the rig earlier. Thought I was into a fish on this rod. But I got my old rig back. Anyway, next bait that's going out. Big piece of squid head on a single, I think 14 Next bait, probably coming up to the end of the sessions shortly. But that's a big chunk of herring head on a pennel. Just going to use it on a running ledger, 200 pound line. Hopefully pick up Bull Huss.
Philip just had some good bites on this rod.
Yeah.
Fish on.
I'm going to get some in this time. Just caught a huss on that squid, big piece of squid. It's not a big one, so just get it straight back.